Bro, how are you now 3 days after that disaster?
Bro, I'm not good at all. I mean, I'm ticked off at my franchise. I'm so disgusted. What do you want me to start? You want me to start with the coaching? You want me to start with that?
Yes. Start with the coaching. What's your thoughts on this head coach?
First of all, let's start with this. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett should be gone. I mean, if you're telling me that the offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh is gone and the offensive coordinator in Buffalo is gone, then Nathaniel Hackett should be gone because he is brutal. And I know we don't have a quarterback, okay? But the play calling is horrible. I'm sitting there first play of the game. Write it down. I'm telling everybody around me, this is guaranteed a run. Brees Hall running up the middle for no gain. Of course. Can we try a pass? I'm watching Jordan Love on Thanksgiving. First play of the game for the Packers. 50-yard bomb down the field. Can we try that occasionally? Can we throw? I'm watching Tommy DeVito yesterday throwing the ball down the field to Jalen Hyatt. Can I see it? But I've come to this conclusion, bro, and I don't see you guys. So I don't know if you see me or not.
We did not.
Okay. Well, because I don't see you either. But I see myself.
I'm sure you're looking splendid right now, bro.
I just look wonderful. But I've come to this conclusion. I'm watching DeVito yesterday, and I heard you guys talking about Dable and all. The coaching difference between the Giants and the Jets, talking about offense now, is drastic. It is drastic. The more I think about it, as bad as Zach Wilson is, if you put Zach Wilson, let's say with Shanahan or McVay or Andy Reid, maybe Mike Tomlin, one of these guys, Brian Dable, we're not looking at him as this brutal quarterback that he is. I guarantee he's a lot better, but he has never been coached right. Hackett's terrible. Sal is a defensive guy. He's, I don't know. Does he know what he's doing coaching a quarterback? I doubt it.
No.
He absolutely does not. And the other thing that makes me crazy, okay, and until Rodgers comes back, because I'm telling you right now, if Rodgers could come back this year, I don't care what the record is. I want to see him play.
No, you convinced me, bro. You're right about that. The more I've thought about it, you're right. Yep.
Enough of this. He's basically running the team. He's
right.
The reason that Hackett's still here. He's the reason that Sal is still here. Okay, let's be real about it. So now that you are the GM, get your ass out on the field as soon as possible, and I want to see you play because I don't know what I'm getting next year. I have no idea from this team. But I am so ticked, bro. Oh my God, that game! They get it. They get it to 10-6, right? In spite of the ridiculous personal foul. Are you sick and tired, by the way, of personal foul? We have more personal fouls than points.
Joe, first play of the game, Quentin Jefferson.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right away.
Quentin Williams gets a 4-yard loss. Beautiful tackle of Mostert. Wait, there's a flag. This idiot's is headbutting one of the Dolphins. And then later on, I got to see Mosley. Right? They're off the field. It's 20-6. Not that they're winning anyway. And you got to grab the face mask when you're finally freaking off the field on a third down. They only hit 11 out of 16 third downs in this game. But what happened before halftime, bro, I mean, this is what happens to this franchise. This is what always happens to them. And it just makes me, I am so disgusted with everything. I really am. The coaching staff is not getting it done. The defense is fine. I can't take it anymore.
But here's the problem, and I think
the problem is Rodgers. He wants these guys here.
Well, yes, we're in jail. And this eerily reminds me of my freaking Brooklyn net run where I got a superstar, and we all have to bow down to him because I think Robert Saleh and Nate Hackett and Joe Douglas too. They've all earned their pink slips. They really have.
Right.
But the reason we almost have to hold on to them is Rodgers. Would you be willing to blow the whole thing up and have to get rid of Rodgers, too, before he ever plays for this team, just to dump the coaching staff? Would you be on board with that?
No, but I think that the general manager, if he's running the show, should be the guy to say, hey, you know what, Aaron? I don't know about this offensive coordinator. I think Sean Payton might be right. By the way, they've won 5 games in a row, the freaking Broncos now. How the hell did we beat them? But, it's unbelievable. Maybe Sean Payton was right. Hackett stinks. The play calling is abysmal.
But you know what's worse? The worst is, and I know he's a nice guy, is this head coach.
No, he's not because I can't defend him anymore, bro. I ripped him on Saturday. I don't know if you heard me. I eviscerated everybody.
They're an undisciplined mess.
Mess.
Even his answers after games leave a lot to be desired.
He doesn't get in their face. I've been saying this since year one. He's too nice.
Yeah.
He doesn't get in these guys' faces. Occasionally, hey, you can't keep with these dumb personal fouls. How about the one on the kickoff, or what was it, on the extra point or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Michael Clemens, who thinks he's the Incredible Hulk, of course. I know he didn't mean to hit the official, but, I mean, come on. And then Mosley's getting one. I mean, every game we're good for 4 or 5 personal fouls. I told you, they get more of those than points. It's mind-boggling. It really is, bro. It's mind-boggling. And the defense, again, look, I know they got hit with third down after third down, but this was a 10-6 game after Eccles gets the pick. They get the interception by DJ Reed. And anybody that thinks you're supposed to take a knee there, that's nonsense.
No,
you're on the other team's 49-yard line. You throw the ball into the end zone. That's a given.
You got to take a shot. Now,
of course.
As I'm watching this thing live, when did you know, holy crap, this guy's taking it back the entire way?
He got to about the 50-yard line. I knew he was gone. When I saw him at about the 50, I'm like, nobody's tackling this guy.
And I said this to Tiki earlier. I think the butt fumble is the most overrated moment in the history of the NFL. This is 50 times worse because this was a game. Yeah. This is a football game at 10-6. Yeah. And in one fine swoop, we all got kicked in the you-know-what, and that game was dead from that moment on.
It was over. The defense how could they play after that? By the way, it was a bad omen when Zerline missed the extra point. I got to tell you that when he missed the extra point after the Eccles pick, I'm like, this is not good.
Joe, I asked you this last week.
Yep.
What do you want from the rest of this season?
I want to win. I want to win games. I don't want to lose to the crummy Atlanta Falcons. I don't want to lose to the crummy Washington Commanders. Why can't we beat the Houston Texans? Why can't my defense frustrate C.J. Stroud? Why can't they do that? You know what I'm saying? I want to win. I gotta end this Patriot streak at the end of the year. They stink. Just think how bad Mac Jones is. He's being coached by Belichick and O'Brien. Zach Wilson's being coached by Sal and Hackett. Jones is horrific.
Yeah, he's bad.
So
how do you get to the point where you accept what this team is? Because what I see when I watch them, especially forget the defense for now, because their defense is great.
Right.
But they're getting frustrated. And that's why you're seeing of course. That's why you're seeing the Michael Clemens nonsense and the the dumb emotional penalties.
Gotta stop.
Personal. I agree they gotta stop, but I understand it.
Right.
Right? I mean
okay.
I've been on teams where offense has been terrible and defense has been great, and it's a terrible situation, right? It's different, I think, if it's the other way around, right? Because you can just outscore the opponent,
right?
But when your offense can't score, it gets ugly, and it gets ugly quickly because you don't want to kill those guys on the other side of the room, but you kind of have to because you're doing your part and they're not. But my point is this Jet team just doesn't have the talent offensively.
No.
I mean, their offensive line, I know we talk about the Giants being off bad offensive line. The Commanders have a terrible one as well. There's plenty of this Jet offensive line. And I wrote Evan this as soon as this game was going on. Max Mitchell's a liability to whoever is in the backfield or whoever the quarterback is. Their techniques are bad. They try to cut block all the time. You talk about the first play of the game. Why did it only go for a yard? Because C.J. Uzomah tried to cut the edge, and he jumped right over him and made the tackle in the backfield, right? So the technique is wrong, right? And the skill is just not good enough. And until that's fixed, I know what you want. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. But still, I'd like to see some more imagination on. I mean, they never throw a ball down the field, Teak. They never do.
No, you're right.
I mean, come on.
You're right.
You got to try. You got to try. And I'm going to say this too. And I know this isn't popular, but the reality is this: until Rodgers comes back, I hate to say this, Zach gives them their best chance to win.
I was going to ask you. You want to go back to Zach because Timmy Boyle was just blocked?
He stinks, bro. Come on, Tim Boyle. I mean, I know Zach's not any good, but he's better than this guy. I mean, at least there's talent there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What about
look, he's not coming back next year anyway. You know, but like I said, I want to see Rodgers play if he's ready to play. But until then, you might as well play Zach.
Any interest in Trevor Siemian, or you'd rather not even waste time?
Come on.
No, I know they all stink.
Can we get Brian Hoyer too? Maybe the worst quarterback that ever lived, Brian Hoyer.
They're all bad. I mean, the reality is watching Tim Boyle on Friday. It's the same thing.
Terrible.
Like, would it have been any different?
No. But I got to see some imagination, something. I mean, come on. Why do I? It makes me crazy too. I watch these. Everybody else, guys are wide open. Guy running a ball, they're getting 6-7 yards. I mean, it makes me nuts. I can't take it. I can't take it. We are. I hate to say it because I like Sal a lot. He's a great guy. But they are terribly coached on the offensive side of the football.
They're terribly coached, and if this thing gets worse, because I kind of got the feeling over the last few weeks with this defense, it's almost like they're letting go of the rope. Like, we've tried everything we can. I don't blame them in a way. But if this thing gets worse and they lose to Atlanta, and they lose to Houston, and they lose to the Commanders, and this ends up as a 5-win year, how do they bring him back?
They can't. You can't sell me that. I couldn't agree with you more. You cannot bring him back if this team goes 4-13, 5-12. You cannot bring him back.
Yeah, but is this a GM and head coach move on, or is it not? Because that's the complication of this, Joe.
The GM
and we talked
Aaron
about
Rodgers right now.
Yeah, I know, but we talked about this last week, Evan and I. It's like you can defend Joe Douglas because he's done so many good things, but you can also condemn him in the same sentence because of missing on certain spots. You know what I mean?
Here's the big spot he's missed on, okay? Not even Zach with the second pick in the draft. The big spot that he missed on is he did not have a viable veteran backup.
Yeah.
He didn't sign somebody immediately after Rodgers went down. Immediately. You had to – how you went into this season – with only Zach basically as your backup quarterback is total negligence as far as I'm concerned. It is, right or wrong?
No, you're right. And that's why, like, Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, Trevor Siemian, it's like Tweedledee, Tweedledum. It doesn't even matter. They're all bad.
It's almost the same as the Patriots, right? You got Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi. No matter who you put in there, I mean, they go for 100. Yeah, they did for just over 100 yards collectively.
How did we lose to them? Answer me these questions. How did we lose to the Patriots? How did we beat the Eagles? I sit here and I say, how the hell? How'd they beat Denver? How'd they beat Buffalo?
I know.
I mean, it's like I'm watching the game last night, one of the best games of the year, and obviously I'm rooting for Philly because I hate the Bills. Screw them. I hope they don't never win another game. And I'd love to see McDermott get fired because he's a pompous ass too. So I'm rooting for Philadelphia. But you're watching this game and you're like, oh my! I mean, this is real football.
It's a different sport.
How did we beat both of these teams?
Yeah.
Oh my!
Because they both have quarterbacks. That's what makes it feel like there's competency going on out there. You know that they're gonna find ways to make plays. I called the Texans yesterday, Joe.
I saw it. I know because I was going back and forth. Because I had the Texans. One of my picks was the Jaguars. Right. So I noticed you did the game. You got a good game there.
He
bro.
did. It was. But C.J. Stroud, like you just look at him. He extends plays. He finds ways to make things happen. He's not always looking to run. When he does it judiciously. And when he doesn't, he steps up, makes you think he's running, and then he throws it behind your back. Right? He's just a smart quarterback, and he's well coached. Yeah. And so when you have a quarterback, you just have a chance. Even if your team is not good, if you have a quarterback, you have a chance.
You know what's interesting too? He's coached by D'Amico Ryans has done a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
I mean. And he's coached by a defensive guy. I mean, Ryans was a linebacker in the league and all of that stuff. So this guy's a defensive guy, yet this quarterback is thriving right now.
Yeah, it's because of Bobby Slowick, who is the offensive coordinator, who he brought from San Francisco. So he was in that Shanahan system. Right. And we asked him this, like he got used to coaching young kids because he had Trey Lance early, and then he had Brock Purdy. And so he had really young, underdeveloped quarterbacks that he helped get up to speed.
And we've got LaFleur and Hackett.
Right. And so
he had LaFleur back.
Right. So when he came to the Houston, he knew what to do. Like he knew how to get the young kid comfortable.
You convinced me because you said it last week and I thought you were nuts, but the more I gave it thought, I think you're right. If Aaron Rodgers can come back, bring him back.
I want to see him play.
Bring him back. I want to see him play too.
That's it.
Even if they're out of it, Joe, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know what I'm getting next year. Who knows? You know what? If he's going to get hurt this year, he's going to get hurt next year. That's I want to see the guy play. You're running my franchise. You're basically the GM. We're stuck with these coaches because of you. Get your ass out there and play. You owe it to the fans. Okay? Seriously, I really believe this.
No, I think you're right, and he wants to.
Owe it to the fans.
But what if he comes out, and I think this is on the table, he comes out and it's the same crap. It's the same kind of offense we've seen. Would you want to blow it up and move on from him then? Like if he's mediocre for 2 or 3 games, would that be enough for you to say, you know what?
Well, you know what? Maybe that's enough for him to realize, hey, you know what? These coaches, maybe they got to go.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I don't want to do this.
How do we know that?
Because he loves Hackett.
That's definitely not happening.
Salah maybe, but Hackett's his guy. He freaking loves him.
Hackett's brutal.
That's his guy, though.
Well, but maybe but again, if that happens, what you're saying, maybe he does realize that, you know what, we got to do something with the coaching.
Well, it may be more, I don't want to be here anymore.
Well, then you know what? Then don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out.
Yeah.
No, seriously, that's how I
that
feel.
quick?
Bro.
That quick, Joe?
Yeah. Because if you don't want to be here, then go.
No, I hear you. I hear
you.
you.
Know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
What, Teague? You don't want to be here.
Because he hamstrings you too because of his contract.
Right. If this season continues to spiral and they're picking, 4th in the draft, which is on the table, are you going to want Aaron Rodgers? Because Aaron Rodgers may say, "Don't take a quarterback. I'm here. Get an offensive lineman. We got to win. Go get Marvin Harrison Jr." Like he may think about the short term. Right. How would you feel about that?
I think we got to get a quarterback somewhere, even if we got to get him in the later round. Look. I heard you guys talking about quarterbacks. There's a bunch of – I understand. I heard Sean screaming about Brock Purdy's not any good, whatever you want to say. Guy was the last pick in the draft. I'll take him on my team. But whatever. I mean, look, Jalen Hurts was a second-round pick. We all know about Brady. Dak Prescott was a 4th-round pick. I mean, this guy was not a first-round draft
Yeah,
choice.
and as much as I hate to admit it, he's playing unbelievable football.
Tremendous.
He'll throw an interception every game, but other than that, he's fantastic.
I think you got to look at the Cowboys now as a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I think there's 3 teams in the NFC that are that: San Francisco, Philly, and Dallas.
Yeah,
those are the teams in the NFC legitimate. So I mean, even if Jalen Hurts 2nd round, even if you find somebody down the road, I don't know about these guys. There's a lot of guys coming out. Okay, the guy that I like the best in college football, and this means nothing, okay, is the kid at LSU, Jaden Daniels.
Daniels.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's just real thin.
He is thin.
He needs some football weight put on him.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know about Caleb. I heard I used to say this. I don't know about Caleb Williams.
I don't love his attitude. I don't love his attitude. Now, this is from afar.
Are we talking about Williams now?
No. Yeah, Caleb Williams. I don't love his attitude.
Right.
I don't love how he's reacted these last couple of weeks, the adversity that he's faced. He's a small quarterback. I don't love small quarterbacks.
Right.
I think the other Drake May I'd like. Jaden Daniels I like as well. He's got to develop more into an NFL passer, but that's neither here nor there. J.J. McCarthy's probably more moxie than he's more Baker Mayfield than he is an elite quarterback.
You like
but
Penix? You like the guy in Washington?
Penix I'm starting to grow on, but he's had 2 ACLs.
Not big, though. And he's not big.
No, and he's had 2 ACLs, so that worries you. And he's 26 years, and he's 25 years old or something like that.
What about the kid at Oregon, Nix? You like him? He wasn't great at Auburn.
Yeah, I don't know about Nix. I think I like him, but I don't know enough about him, especially after he transferred to Oregon. I stopped seeing him.
I'm going to throw a guy at you could probably get in the later rounds.
Yeah.
What do you think of Tua's brother at Maryland?
Oh, what's his name?
I forget his first name. But,
yeah.
Tunga Vailoa, number 2.
He's not bad. No, I know Mike Loxley down there had him doing a lot of the stuff that they were doing in Alabama. And so, but he didn't have the personnel to do it, so he struggled at times. But he's a righty as opposed to a lefty, and he's good at it. He's kind of just like Tua, except he's a righty.
Right.
I mean, as a project, 100%.
You could get him in the later round.
That's right. If he's going to be a 3rd or 4th rounder for you, 100%.
Yep.
It's a good call. I didn't even think about him.
Are you confident they're going to win a couple of games here, or do you think this is just going to spiral like last year?
I think they got to win a couple games. I mean, you got some bad team. I mean, this week Atlanta, and plus Atlanta's coming off their big win over the Saints. They're technically in first place. Can we get in the NFC South, by the way?
Petition to get to that division.
Place.
Yeah,
I think it's like the worst win percentage maybe in NFL history.
Well, they're going to get an under 500 team to win the division, which we've seen before.
I mean, collectively, they're the worst winning percentage.
Carolina has a lot to do with that.
That's true. They're like 31%.
You think there's any chance for Bryce Young, or what do you think of him? I mean,
it depends. I mean, they fired Reich,
Frank Reich.
So
today,
we'll see who
Frank Reich
comes.
Got fired today.
He got fired this morning.
Wow. Who took over?
Their special teams coordinator got promoted as an intern.
It's just like whatever. We're just going to toll out the season and see if they're going to hire somebody else.
Right.
But I think it's the system. Right, Frank Reich is set in his ways and what he wants to do. It's why he flipped through like 3 quarterbacks when he was in Indy, because if you don't fit what he wants to do, it doesn't fit. You bench Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's borderline Hall of Fame type quarterback. Won an MVP back in 2015, Rookie of the Year. I only know this because he's my colleague now, but he made Matt Ryan look bad, right? So I didn't love the fit with Bryce Young. Now, Bryce is one of those smaller quarterbacks as well, and he's taken way too many sacks. So it's going to depend on who comes in.
Frank Reich, by the way, first guy in the history of football to be fired as a head coach in back-to-back years.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Think about that.
Yeah. And after, what, he didn't make it to 12 games.
Right. In the middle of a season, too. It's crazy.
By the way, how good a coach is Mike Tomlin? The guy is just, I mean, what he is doing.
It's every year, Joe. Every year, Joe.
No, I don't think he's ever had a losing season. Even last year, they went 9-8.
Yeah.
What he is doing, I look at his team. Okay, I'm watching some of them yesterday. Their offenses. Kenny Pickett, is he any good? This team, all they do is win.
They find ways.
You know they're going to make the playoffs. You know they're going to.
Yeah, they get outgained every single week, and they find a way to win.
Except for this week. This week they did not.
Right, this week was the exception.
They still won, but they still won.
He's the coach of the year. He is fantastic.
Oh, my God, he's so good.
Joe, hopefully we could turn this thing around, but I'm not confident.
Bro. I don't know. The pain, it's a lot of pain.
Indeed, bro.
Oh, the pain.
Have a good one, man.
Guys, all the love.
Be good, Joe.
The great Joe Beningo.